Welcome, baseball family, to this week's Thursday Night Live. That's right, we are back on a Thursday because things worked out. Anyway, welcome. I am Brad, and as always, what's that?
I said because plot.
Because plot, exactly right. And that is Brig. For those of you who might be new here, welcome, Brig. How are you this evening?
Sleepy, but very happy. Also, I'm very
happy.
excited about certain developments, but other than that, great.
Excellent. Good news.
Yes.
Always good to be very excited about certain developments. All right. Let's get into it. First things first. This is a really interesting week because it's tomorrow, actually today, is the last day you can add a player to your roster to have them be eligible to be on your team during the playoffs. Because September 1st, they got to be there, got to be on the 40-man roster. They can either be there on the injured list in the minor leagues, but they got to be on the 40-man roster on your team to be eligible for the playoffs, which means that there were a few teams put some guys on waivers. Now, used to, Brig, remember back in the olden days, they had the waiver trade deadline, which was usually August 31st, a month after the actual trade deadline. But now they did away with that. That's not a thing anymore, but they still have the waiver claim. Now, what does this all mean? It's very fascinating because typically you hear a guy is on waivers. It means that he's been cut from his team, designated for assignment, optioned outright, or whatever. In this case, that's not what's going on. So these guys are still on their team. I think Harrison Bader still played center field the other day after being put on waivers, right?
Yeah, but today he was just at the ballpark.
Well, right. So he was still playing because he's still on the team as an active, full active member of the team. So then what happens is if these guys are on waivers, they go through the waiver order, and it works just like on your fantasy team or your fantasy league, right? Where the team with the worst record gets first claim. So they go down the list and they say, okay, basically like the A's, did they put in a claim? No. Royals, I think, would be next. No, right? And basically what that comes down to is if the Braves wanted a guy and anybody else in the league put in a claim on him, they would not get him because they have the best record in the league. They wouldn't get him. So that's how that part works. If nobody claims the guy, he stays on his team as if nothing ever happened. We'll get there because there were a couple of them that happened to.
Yeah.
So, and the other interesting thing about it is the money side of it, right? Because if a guy gets designated for assignment, that's really exciting for some guys who can still play, right? Because then you can bring him in on the cheap because that team bought him out, paid out the rest of his contract. Then you can bring him in on a league minimum deal, and he's still happy because he's getting all that money plus a little bit of money, relatively speaking, that you're giving him, that your team is giving him. So you can get a guy on the cheap. That's not how this works. This is like a trade where you're bringing him in, you're paying out the rest of his contract as it would be paid out normally. Okay, so that's how this whole waiver thing works. The Angels did not designate for assignment Lucas Giolito, Randall Grichuk, Hunter Renfroe, Ronaldo Lopez, Matt Moore, or Dominic Leone. They placed them on waivers, which meant that anybody else in the league could claim them and bring them onto their teams. It also means that Harrison Bader was not designated for assignment, nor was Mike Clevenger by the White Sox or Carlos Carrasco with the Mets. But these guys were all put on waivers this week, which I thought was fascinating. It's a fascinating list.
Yeah.
Because especially I don't... Yes. And this is the thing, is like you think that you would want to have that guy around, because we talked on the big show this week about what Dansby Swanson said about a winning culture. That you can't just flip the switch and have a winning culture. You got to keep guys around and build the culture. And yes, Harrison Bader may not be coming back after this season, right? Because he's a free agent.
He is.
But try to get some momentum going in the offseason. Get some positivity instead of guys being like, man, I cannot wait to get out of here.
Yeah.
Right.
Well, and Bader's a positivity guy.
Right.
So he is, and he's positive with the fans and in the fans' hearts and minds. He struggles a little bit at the plate as of late, and that's a little bit disappointing. But also, and he's been injured quite a bit as of late as well.
Yeah.
But he's still a terrific influence, I think, in the clubhouse and certainly with the fan base. So when they made this public, there's been an outcry from Yankees fans and it's split down. I won't say the middle, but there are two groups. And I think it's much heavier on the side of, excuse me.
Yeah.
And then there are the detractors who are like, okay, get him out of here. That's fine. The only reason that the detractors feel as strongly as they do, though, is because of the prospects that are going to come and fill the void left by Bader. And that is exciting. So,
right. Yeah.
bittersweet in a lot of ways.
Yeah. Yeah. I'm sure there are some people who are just like, move on to the next guy who's going to be in for a while. And I understand that argument. So Bader did actually get picked up, as did Hunter Renfroe, by the Reds. I think that's a great spot for both of those guys. I think they're going to do really well there. Harrison Bader can grow his hair out and get his power back.
Yeah, exactly.
Good for him. Very excited. And then Lucas Giolito, Ronaldo Lopez, and Matt Moore all went to Cleveland.
Whoa.
That's really interesting to me. I like that move for Cleveland. That's good.
Yeah,
all three of those guys. And then Dominic Leone actually went to the Mariners. The Mariners picked him up. He was a Mariner about 10 years ago and was pretty dang good during that short time. I'm hoping he can catch some of that lightning in the bottle again and be a solid, another solid arm out of the bullpen for the Mariners. And then Carlos Carrasco, Mike Clevenger, and Randall Grichuk all went unclaimed. So they will return to their teams as if nothing happened. I'm shocked nobody picked up Grichuk.
That's the one that really surprises me. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, because, and you know, I kind of had, I can't remember if I said it here or if it's in a text message somewhere, but I said, I wonder if Grichuk has been benefiting from playing in Colorado this year.
Could be. Yeah.
So teams may have looked at his road splits and been like, maybe not.
It's totally possible.
So I don't know. It's been a really interesting week with those, with all these guys, especially with that laundry list from in Anaheim.
Yeah.
That is straight up the Angels just punting because they're just trying to get rid of that money for the last month of the season to save some.
Yeah.
And maybe put that toward Ohtani in the offseason, but I think we talked about that, and I think that ship sailed.
That's over. Yeah, it's not going to happen.
Yeah. All right, let's move on. Let's talk about 20-win teams in August because there were, count 'em, Brig, 3 teams that won 20 games in August. The Dodgers, the Mariners, and of course, as you would expect, the Braves won 20 games.
For sure.
Quietly just trucking along as the best team in the league. Let's go.
Not even quietly. They're just.
Yeah, you're right.
But they're definitely cruising at altitude. They're at 30,000 feet, and there is no turbulence.
Yeah, you're exactly right. That is exactly how that's going. So let's start with the Dodgers, the winningest team in the month of August. They went 24-4. They started the month 59-45 with a 2-game lead in the NL West. And they ended the month 83-49 with a 14.5 game lead in the NL West.
Whoops.
I'm sure that's what the Giants and D-backs are like. Whoa, like you said. Oh,
yeah. That's a ruh-roh, Raggy.
Gone.
That is.
Yeah. Yep, that's exactly what that is. So then the Mariners went 21-6, first ever 21-win month in franchise history. That includes the 2001 Mariners, who are the winningest franchise or winningest team in Major League Baseball history, tied with the Cubs.
Right.
They started the month 55 and 51. This is the most stark difference. It was crazy to look at this and see exactly how things went down. They were 5 games back of first place in the AL West and sitting in 4th place
Right.
coming into August. Currently 76 and 57 and tied for the lead with Houston and the AL West. It helps. And you know what? You would think that with how far Texas fell, that they just had like an awful month. They were still like 4 games over 500. 4 or 5 games over 500. So it's not a terrible month. It's just that Houston and Seattle were that good.
Yeah.
So that's crazy. And then the Braves started the month 67 and 37, had an 11-game lead in the NL West. This is what's crazy to me. Won 20 games, are now sitting at 67. That's not right. Currently sitting at 87 and 45. How's that for
45.
mathing on the fly, Brig?
That's on the fly is right. You should have done it in your voice, Brad. That's okay.
The mathing on the fly, Brig, so we can figure out what exactly is going on in Atlanta with the Braves. And this may or may not be a little bit of a filibuster because I put the wrong lead in for the division.
Currently, the Braves have a
Thank you.
13.5 game lead in the division. I think it's crazy they only gained 2.5 games during that month.
Right. Yeah. Well, that
Over
goes
the
to show
Phillies.
you how good everybody else has been, though.
The Phillies have been fantastic in August.
Yeah.
So,
yeah.
But it's crazy, though, that those runs, and especially as a Mariners fan watching the month of August, because like, man, July was really good. Holy cow, August was even better.
Yeah. Hopefully September is incredible.
Oh, my gosh.
If I would
if
take
they
a
win
mediocre
19 games,
September,
I would lose my mind.
Yeah, I would take a more mediocre September and a terrific October.
Exactly right. Just got to get there, though. Still got to get there. So that's the tough part.
Yeah.
All right, brother Bryce Harper hit his 300th career home run on Wednesday night on August 31st. It was a 2-run homer in the bottom of the 8th inning against Matt Moore. At the time, he was with the Angels.
He was.
So Brig, this is the thing I want to examine with this. It took him 1,481 games to hit number 300. That's most of his 12 big league seasons. He had a couple of years where he missed some time.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
I think we can assume at this point he's going to hit 400. So when does he get to 400? He's currently 30 years old. His birthday, he turns 31 in October.
March of next year.
March of next year.
No, come on now. It'll be at least April. But I don't think it's not going to take that long. Honestly, I think he's seeing the ball better than he's ever seen it at this moment in his game. And I think he's stronger than he's ever been. His power's there. Yeah. He's sliding into that old man power that's a little bit more mature and a little bit different. Yeah, he's got the dad strength. So I see him on a crescendo of production actually over the next couple of years.
Right now he's a little bit better than 1 home run every 5 games for his career, which is crazy given his like quote unquote power outage that he had when he first came back this year. Yeah. And the amount of time that he's missed. So according to the math, he could be there in like 3 years.
We should segment that out, though, and say, okay, over the course of his 12 years, it's been this many, and then bump it to, and now that over the time he's been in Philly, it's been this much, and then 2023 was this much, and then that would prove that crescendo I think we're seeing.
Brig, you're talking about getting into calculus, tangents and things, derivatives.
I don't know what you're saying. I don't know what those words mean, but I bet we could do some analyzing.
We really could do some analyzing and figure out. We could probably get it down to just about the month, of at least maybe the week even, when he's going to get it if we did some major analysis. But so we figure 3 or so years for number 400. When does he get to 500? Does he get to 500? He's signed through 2031.
Yeah, he gets to 500 for sure.
Mike Schmidt sure thinks that he will.
He
really
really
came
came
out
out
for him not to.
That's right. Yeah, I mean, obviously pretty far out, and there's a lot of injury capabilities and whatever. But ultimately, I say yes. He gets to 500.
Yeah, I think you get 500 too. All right, Brig. I'm going to tell him about versus game real quick. I think it's my turn. So,
Okay.
baseball family, we're always asking what you want to, what you think about the things that we talk about. Now you have a quick and easy way to share your thoughts with us. We've partnered with VersusGame to bring you games where you can make money from participating in polls, trivia, and predictions. If you're on the winning side of a poll, trivia, or a prediction poll, you can win actual real dollar bills, money, and other prizes from VersusGame. You can play for free or buy ticket bundles to win more faster, and you can play against other listeners and VersusGame users. So head to btpod.onversus.com in your mobile browser, because that's the best way it's set up to do, and play our polls and trivia games. Again, that is btpod.onversus.com to sign up and play Versus Game with us. Right now we have 4 games live. A couple of them we have, is it okay to leave a game early? That's inspired by Brig being at Yankee Stadium during a blowout. And the other is, does Ohtani's injury diminish his value this offseason? We have 2 more. You can go check all those out and play. Again, that's btpod.onversus.com to play with us.
And as soon as that poll closes, I will give you the answer that I believe is the right one, as evidenced by what happened that day.
There you go. You want to tell them about Patreon, Brig?
Yeah. Baseball family, we have Patreon set up for your pleasure, for our benefit and your pleasure, and you benefit too. It's everybody wins, okay? It's a win-win-win, because you can sign up to support us, which is a terrific benefit for us. Boy, I'm talking circles. Listen, baseball family, break it down for you, okay? We love bringing you the show. We could not do without you, seriously. And if you would like to help us continue to do what we're doing and get a couple of more projects off the ground that we would just really be excited to bring you, there's a quick and easy way to support us in doing that. You go to patreon.com. There are 5 levels of support. You got a $1 a month, $5, $10, $15 a month, and a whopping $500 a month tier of support. Everybody at every tier gets 2 things for sure. You're going to get a sticker, which we love entirely, and they go really well. Everybody loves them. And 2, you're going to get the unedited and uncut version of the podcast. We call it the bullpen cut. That's where all the stuff that gets cut, obviously, from the big show, you get access to that. Inside jokes, stories that we don't share with anybody else, things like that. But there's each level of comes with its own perks and benefits as well. So jump over to Patreon, and if you choose to support us that way, we would love it. But baseball family, we have another way that you can support us, which is new and super exciting. Brad and I have been nominated for Baseball Podcast of the Year by the Internet Baseball Writers Association of America. We are pumped about this. We feel so blessed, and we feel so supported by the audience and some of the other writers that we've been able to partner with and get to know. And the thing about it is, though, that voting is open to the public through September 8th. We're going to put a link. Yeah, we're going to put a link here. So for the next 7 days, you can get on and vote for our podcast and, give us a chance to win Podcast of the Year. And that would be another great way to support us. And we would be super grateful to have your vote. Share it with the rest of our baseball family as well. As soon as Brad gets talking, I will dump the link in the description right now.
So Brig's going to put it in the comments. I'll put it in the description of everything, so it's everywhere, all over the place, because sometimes those links are not good in YouTube anymore after the stream. So anyway, all right, let's go move on to the national TV schedule for the weekend. Friday night on Apple TV Plus. Both of these games are at 7:10 p.m. Eastern time. We got the Mariners at the Mets. The Mariners are 76-57. The Mets are 61-73 and incredibly disappointing. The Rays will be at the Cleveland Baseball Club. The Rays are 82-52, and Cleveland is 64-70, and apparently trying to make a real big, strong push for the playoffs in the division in the Central. Saturday, There are no games on FS1. I'm assuming that has a lot to do with the college football slate. There will be a game or two on FS1, I'm sure, and I'll probably be watching some, to be honest with you. But Fox Saturday night at 7:15 p.m. Eastern time, you got the Twinkies at the Rangers. The Twins are 69 and 65, sitting on top of the AL Central, and then the Rangers are 75 and 58, sitting currently in second place in the AL West. Thank you very much.
No, and thank you, Brad.
And then your other game, this is like we always say, check your local listings. The other game is the Phillies at the Brewers. The Phillies are 74 and 59. The Brew Crew is 74 and 59 as well.
Sunday, your wake up and baseball game is the Phillies at the Brewers in Milwaukee, 12:05 Eastern. That's on Peacock. That's your wake up in baseball. ESPN on Sunday will feature the Yankees versus the Astros in Houston. The Yankees are abysmal, 65 and 68. They lost 4-3 on a walk-off error in Detroit today. But the one bright spot, perhaps of the entire season for us Yankees fans, was Anthony Volpe today. He's the first rookie in Yankee history to get 2020 to have a 2020 season. It's 20 home runs and 20 stolen bases. Super excited. Very, very cool. But the Astros are 77 and 58. And they're going to just whoop up on the Yankees. Let's be honest. That's at 7:10 p.m. Eastern on Sunday on ESPN.
Recent history dictates that is likely what will happen, Brig. I think you're right.
Yeah.
All right. Weekend series to watch. Brig and I are actually both going to be watching the Mariners, the Mets. Right?
Yeah.
I will be watching the Yankees, the Astros. If nothing else, scoreboard watching, because I got to keep an eye on the Astros and also on the Rangers to see how things are going in the American West. How about your other series, Brig?
I'm going to watch the Cubs and the Reds. I think it's really exciting for a million reasons. But anytime I get to watch Ellie De La Cruz, I'm excited about it. They're fielding a rookie infield. That's exciting in Cincinnati right now. But the Cubs are hot, and I picked them to take the division last week in our what's going to happen playoff prediction time or whatever thing we did.
I think that's super fun. Now. I think we'll call it Tuesday. Now our what's going to happen segment.
What's going to happen playoff prediction time. Okay.
Yes.
I'm also going to watch the Phils play the Brewers because the Phils are exciting. And if the Brewers lose to anybody, that makes the Cubs' chances of, advancing much better. Giants at Padres, very similar storylines there. But I kind of, I don't know. I really like the Giants right now, even though everything has kind of gone belly up. Not all the way belly up.
Not all the way. They're an exciting to watch. They're playing with energy and everything. Like, they obviously want to get a wild card spot because they know they're not going to get the division. And
that's what I'm saying. If the Dodgers had not gone on the tear, it would be a totally different scenario, and I'd be watching the Giants all the time. But this is particularly interesting. Did you watch the no bid from the other day?
I followed it. I was watching something else, but I saw what happened at the end with Cobb.
So I couldn't sleep that night, and I got the notification, I don't know, in the 6th or 7th or whatever. So I'm sitting there in bed with the blue light on my face. Anyway, it was super exciting. And
really helping your situation.
It was great. Well, I have my priorities straight, right? It's like you can't sleep, but you could watch a no-hitter bid. I'm like, all right. Why would I even try to sleep? That's ridiculous.
That's
right. Anyway, so that was heartbreaking, honestly. But I loved that it wasn't cheap. He didn't lose it cheap. He lost it honorably at the last out of the 9th inning. It was a lot of things. Yeah. And then both of us are going to watch the Twins at the Rangers because that's like head-to-head competition. And then the Braves at the Dodgers. Drum roll, please. This is wild. This is so exciting. This could be the NLCS easily. Could be.
Yeah. Yeah, I think it's an NLCS preview because I don't know anybody else in the National League who can compete with either of these teams right now.
Somebody would have to dethrone the Dodgers in the workup to the championship series. But nobody's going to take the Braves down. I don't think.
Well, we thought that last year too, and the Phillies did. So
I
guess we shouldn't say that about anybody, but right now,
true.
it feels like these two teams are world beaters right now, and
Yeah, you're right.
they're certainly the teams to beat, though. So we'll see how it goes. But this is going to be a very exciting series. I'm excited for this one. All right, BT bets. Let's get into our picks for the weekend. I was shocked. I thought I went 0-2 last week. I actually went 1-1. That puts my current record at 28-29. So this week, on Friday, I'm going to take the Astros run line over the Yankees. You can get plus 105 most places right now with this game. Then Saturday, take the Diamondbacks plus money over the Orioles. This is one of my riskier picks, but honestly, Saturday is not a great slate for betting this weekend. A lot of really close series. MLB did pretty good putting together the schedule this weekend, so going to be a lot of close games. Sunday, take the Twins money line over the Rangers. Again, that is one of my riskier picks, but you're definitely going to get plus money on that one for sure.
Either
and
way.
These two teams have matched up really well over the last couple weeks. So if you want to take the risk, go for it. You're going to get plus money for sure. That one.
I went 0-2 last week. Current record is, we're not going to talk about it. No, it's 23-32. It's a little bit sad. I've got some risky bets. I realized that if I went 0-2 last week, I told myself that I was just gonna hang it up and start really doing some fun betting, right? So this is what I think would be fun. Okay. Cubs
Entertainment
Reds
purposes only.
Porpoises. Cubs Reds on Friday. They're playing a doubleheader. I suggest you pick the Cubs to win game 1, the Reds to win game 2. Money line on both, and if you can swing some kind of parlay in there to make
you
it
can
happen,
parlay that.
do it. Parlay that. Saturday, A's are going to beat the Angels. If you can pick the money line, don't take the run line. Do the money line.
Yeah, no, you can get
Sunday.
You can get plus money on the A's every game of the year.
Watch it. The Angels are going down that day. You watch it. Sunday, D-backs are going to beat the Orioles. You have to take the money line on that one. It can't be the run line.
Nice.
That comes down to pitching matchups.
Yeah, that's what I did on Saturday too. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. That's the only way I can
D-backs
figure it
have
out.
a young kid who's been really good going up against Bradish on Saturday, so I was like, go for it.
So I almost put that as my Saturday pick.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Blackjack Brad's Black Flag pick of the week. Last week was a push. Yandy Diaz did not play on Sunday, so he therefore was not eligible to hit a home run on Sunday, which leaves me at my best guess is 4-4 on these still. So this week's Black Flag pick is Alex Verdugo to homer on Sunday against the Royals. He's been pretty hot the last week.
Yeah, I don't see that being a problem at all.
So, so he should be able to hit a dinger on Sunday. Make that your pick. The thing that's cool about these home run picks is that like you're guaranteed to get at least plus 120 or at least plus like 230 on them. 230 on like a bit heavy favorite or 300 on a guy who's like, yeah, maybe. I haven't checked Alex Verdugo's odds to homer, but he'll probably be in the 250, 275 range on Sunday. Would be my guess. So go win yourself some free money on that dinger. But baseball family, we want to thank you for supporting the show. Again, Brig mentioned the nomination for Baseball Podcast of the Year with the International Internet Baseball Writers Association of America. I don't think we feel like we could have ever even gotten a nomination if it wasn't for the support of our listeners. And we ask for you to go vote. Like we said, the link is in the description, is in the comments right now. It will be in the description of the episode, so you can get to that easily everywhere, wherever you're listening to this. And if you want to support the show another way, head over to schnookseatery.com and use code BTPOD at checkout. They've changed the discount. I believe it's 5% now, Brig, right?
It is 5% now. Yep.
Yeah, they've dropped it down to 5%, but they're still the best seeds ever. That does not change. And we support that message. So you can support the show, support your mouth by getting 5% off your seeds at schnookseatery.com and using code BTPOD at checkout. The baseball family, man, I thought I'd make it before I got that frog in my throat. I almost did. Thanks for joining us. We'll catch you next week.